yesterday over on the Facebook page. I'm loving it. I'm feeling like this is a little blank right here, so I may add a little stamp there at some point, but just thought I'd show that to you since I had it right here. I'm going to grab this on my computer so I can see you guys while we're crafting and chatting. How was everybody's weekend? We had prom this weekend. Well, I didn't have prom. My son had prom this weekend. My senior. Oh my goodness, my youngest child is a senior in high school. And yes, he went to prom and it was so fun to see them get dressed up and go. Hey, Wendy, good morning. What's happening, friend? What is going on with you? Tell me what's happening in your world. I would love to know. You hear me ruffling around over here? Yes, that's me ruffling around. I am. I'm looking for some of my images that I like to work with. Where did I put them? Wendy, where did they go? Where did they go? Let's just see if I can find them. I was sketching something out yesterday before I went live, just for fun. Flip into a new page here, and I'm going to put this one away. I've been working on that book quite a lot, actually, lately. So that's been fun. Now, these little doodads were from a kit that I bought, and I used the kit in here, so I think I'm going to try to find a place for these in this book. So that's first order of business. And then I have lots of leftovers from that kit, and I'm just going to figure out, is there something like a smaller project that I can do with them? So let's do the wording first. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. I don't know if I should drop you down just a little further, pick you up. What should we do here? It just feels like you're off a little bit. Trying to straighten things out. Good morning, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Happy Monday. What's going on? I'm gonna grab my chair. I got my coffee here, which is glorious. Thank you for the little things in life, right? Hey, Terry, how are you, Carol? Welcome, ladies. What are you all up to? I'd love to know. Okay, this clip is decorative. It's not holding anything at this point. It's decorative. I think I'm going to put some little pocket or something there. And maybe what I could do is use one of these on the pocket. So let's find the paper that we want to use. I have this little piece of vellum, but flower on flower doesn't do it for me, so I don't think I'll use that right there. But I should use it somewhere because it's the right size. Okay, I have just leftover bits of things. This could make a cute, let's see if I have one. Okay. This, if you didn't see this whole kit, she calls them paper bags. I think of them more like envelopes. But you get pages and pages of these shaped things on paper. So you can see it has a tab here, it has a tab here, it has a tab here. 1, 2, 3. You cut it out like that, and then you fold, fold, fold. She calls it a paper bag. To me, it just looks like an envelope. That's what this is, but I could cut this down to make the pocket that I need right here. And that's what I think I'm going to do. It's going to look like a little file pocket. So let's do it. Oh, you guys have an awful shadow over you. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate you, Carol. Hey, Piglet. Good morning. Nancy's here and Harley Gal. Welcome, welcome. We are crafting and chatting today. Let me shut that big light off because it just gives an awful shadow for you guys. I don't know if we need more light or what. It just feels like it's so dark. I have to size this, but I'm first going to get it cut out. It can be hard to see. I think it can be hard to see her lines on her kits because she puts these on top of decorative paper, which in a way is good because then you have more decorative paper to use. But in a way, it can be confusing because it's like, where does this thing start and this end? Because that is so light. That line is so light. I don't know that I want this to be quite that tall, so I'm going to drop it down to about there maybe. So that's this line right here. And I don't think it's going to go that wide. So I'm going to cut it kind of right here and see what we get. I'm not sure if I like that. It's not even even the way she creates it, but it's meant to be folded back, so the evenness wouldn't even matter. But I'm going to try to make it even. See how that is so much longer and deeper than this one? Well, I guess it's not that much. It sure looks different. I'm going to go a little bit more so it matches a little more. It did not work. Hold on, girls, we're trying. We're eyeballing it, and that can be a little bit of a challenge, yes? Make that a little shorter. Yep, like that. And now it's like wicked crooked. Actually, I feel like it's easier to see straightness from the plain side than it is from this side. Okay, that's all right. We're going to go with that. It'll be a little pocket for something. Now, where's my glue? Where my glue be at? Hello, Petals Pickets. How are you? Hey, Jill. Good morning. Minerva's Touches here. What's everybody up to? What's going on in your world? I might. Hold on. I think just a totally different piece of paper. I might end up doing a double pocket here. Let's just see. Well, that was crazy accurate. Doesn't usually happen. You know, just to break up all this florally stuff going on. Maybe I don't make it a pocket. Maybe I just glue that down just to break things up. Because this feels so busy to me. I'm not loving that combination of those two together. Yeah, I think I will do that. I'm just going to glue that down there. Hi, Inspired for You. Welcome. Good morning. Everybody's so quiet this morning. I keep asking, how was your weekend? What are you up to? But you guys are quiet. Are you drinking your coffee? Are you just trying to wake up? I woke up rather late today compared to usual. I mean, I'm usually up like an hour earlier than I got up this morning. But we had a long, big weekend with prom. I mean, my son didn't get home till 3. And of course, I can't sleep as mom. I cannot sleep when my kids aren't home. I did go to bed. My poor husband, I said, you're on call, man. Like, if I don't get up, if it's some strange reason I don't wake up between when I went to bed at like midnight and he comes home at 3, making sure my husband's like on call to check in with him. We didn't have to do that. He came home right on time. They have an after prom party in our town that is coordinated by the parents. So after the prom ends at midnight at the high school, and then the school, the parents always organize a after prom party that the kids can go to if they want to stay up and, you know, continue the fun. So it was at one of our local, this place that has a bowling alley and it has pickleball courts and it's like a community center. So that's where they were until 3 in the morning. And they give away prizes throughout the night. Big prizes like $1,000 scholarships and computers. And, you know, Gannon won a gift card, $100 gift card, which is great, right? Like, so they give away all these prizes to, you know, entice the kids to join in on the fun, which they do. So I'm going to just stuff this with a few pieces of paper. And that's all that is. And I think if I can find one more big thing in there would be nice. So I have leftovers from this kit that I thought maybe this is it right here. It irritated me a little how crooked I was cutting today. So even with my long scissors, let's go with this guy. I got this off of, it's a Sugar Bell. So it's like for frosting, sweet Sugar Bell bottle. I got it off of Amazon, but I'm pretty sure you can get them at like Hobby Lobby now. I'm not near any of those stores. I live 90 miles from any big hobby store. So I do most of my shopping online, all of my shopping online. So Michelle, sweet Sugar Bell bottles. They come with this tip. They do not come with the silicone. So you have to buy these separately, which is a total bummer. But that's the way it is. And it only works with my PVA, my book glue from Lineco. It doesn't, I have not had any luck in this with art glitter glue, which I do love. I just don't have any luck with it in that bottle. Or I've tried Fabri-Tac. It's too sticky, doesn't work. The only glue that I really find that works is my PVA glue. And it's perfect for paper crafting, so I have no problem with that. She knew how beautiful life is. Okay, let's put that here, in here too, but I think I could clip it there so that we can see it better. Let's put a brad on it to make it a little prettier. And I did not cut the bottom off well. Imagine that. I'm just off today with my cuttings. I don't know what the deal is, but that's the way I am. Look at, I got a little bit of white right there. What's going on? Go away. Okay, let me find a little, not brad, an eyelet. Let me find one. I don't think a big one would fit, although I have them that are mint green that are just like the perfect color for that. I have the mint green ones, but they're just, although it's the perfect color, I think they're too big. Maybe we should try just, I think it's too big. Whoops, dropped one. I love these really wide ones. Yeah, it's just slightly over the edge. Would you do it anyway? I mean, really, there are no rules, girls. We can do whatever the heck we want. Don't let anybody convince you otherwise. You can do whatever you want. I find myself talking to, when I create, I find myself talking myself in and out of things like, oh, that looks dumb. Oh, it's too big, right? But then I think, says who? Right? Like, says who? Girl, you do you. You do what you want to do. I don't like that color on there, so I'm going to go with a dark bronzy one. Yeah, I'll just go dark bronzy. We'll be pretty traditional here with this. Okay, and then we need just a little little ribbon or something to put in there to make it cute. Cuter. Why is there such a shadow over you? Here, let's turn that light way up. Piglet, you do the same thing. Do you talk to yourself that way? I do it all the time. I have over the years, I find myself, especially if I don't have confidence in something like art journaling, sketching things out, I'm like, oh, that's not good. I tend to talk to myself that way, and then I don't think that's good that we do that to ourselves. I might just clip this right here, and since it's already there, and put a little ribbon. What do I want hanging out from here? I do have a little bit of this left over. My gosh, this was just a little scrap that I put in this bowl here, and I can't believe how much use I've gotten out of this little scrap. I used it, I'll show you here in a second. It's just the tiniest little scrap that you think, oh, it's too small to really do anything with. Oh, heck no. I used it, I haven't finished this one. I used it over here. So I tied into this book, I sewed into this book 2 pieces of, what's this stuff called? Monday morning brain freeze. I can't think. What is it called? What is this stuff called? I can't think of it. Anyway, tied them together because they match my book. Teal and orange, right? So they match the book. Tied them using them as a tie here, like this. Now, it's 2 pieces of whatever that's called. So I used that little bit of ribbon. I cut a little piece off and I tied them together here, beaded, and then I tied them together again. So I have a heavy beaded closure for my book. So cute. Love it. And those were just, it was just that little piece of, oh my word, what is it called, girls? It is, it's not, it's binding, isn't it? It's this, oh gosh, I can't think of the word. Thanks, Vicky. She said, I love that clip. Piglet says, yes, I overthink it so much. I started on my first term journal this weekend and I already started self-doubting. Don't, please, Piglet, honey. I'm I'm encouraging you. I will always be your like cheerleader and encourager to when that's like the devil. Good gravy. I don't know if you think that way, but I do. If it's taken the joy out of your creativity and it's taken the joy out of you trying something new and it's getting you to self-doubt yourself and to think you're not good enough or this isn't good enough or this turned out ugly. Those are all the things. Believe me, I know they go through my head too sometimes. I'm just going to just like shoo it away. Shoo it away. Don't let the devil get in your head that way and convince you not to do this because you will find so much joy. Whether it's perfect or it's not, you will find so much joy from the time you have creating and so much relaxation from it. That's why my group is called the Craft Therapy Club, because I believe in it as a way of relaxing. That is so cute right there. I felt doing say so myself. I am gonna darken the edges. I don't normally do that, girls, but give me a minute. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. So don't let the devil get in your head, girl. Don't let it happen. Don't let that negative Nelly surface. You shoo that little personality of like that little part of your personality. Shoo it away. Don't let her mess with you. This is really regular printer paper, so it's not very thick. It's a little hard to get a good tension going for this flicking action. You know, I'm so fancy with my art terms. We're flicking. And I don't want to bend the paper, so I'm trying to be careful. I mean, I suppose you could lay this down on something and do that, but no, I didn't want to. Didn't want to. I might leave this out just in case I need it again. This is going to go right here, and I'm going to just let it sit over top anything that I stuff in there. Now, here's the thing. When I put books together, these are just random bits of paper, yes? There's like nothing on them. That doesn't need to be right now, in my opinion. I do, if there's a pocket, I'm going to stick something in it. And I'm just going to use what I have handy. I usually pick something that matches, but something that I have like handy close to me. Later on, as I'm using the book, when I decide how I'm going to use the book, I can choose otherwise. We can do different things. But for now, I think that's perfectly acceptable to just stuff it with something. Now, I have lots of itty bits of leftover from making this book. Oh, this is really pretty, and it is cardstock. And I could fit that back there. Look at how pretty that is. I'll get you to scoot for a minute and make room for this. So see, I wasn't loving, this is a wallpaper print that I bought off of Etsy from some artist or some store. And I covered both my front, what did I do on the back cover? This is a different wallpaper print from that same store, but I wasn't loving all the busyness. So I'm trying to soften the blow here with the kit. This is all parts of the kit. And hers are really ornate, but it just is a lot for the eye. It's a lot. So I'm trying to soften the blow here, and I'm just going to do that. And then there's multiple layers. It's kind of popping up off the page and out of the pocket, which I think is really nice. So it gives you something more to look at, and it makes the book interactive, in my opinion. Now, this is a pocket, so it should have something stuffed in there, but it ends right at the fold, which is hard. You know, you stuff something in there, then the problem is either it's going to stick out and get folded as well, and then you're going to have this weird thing going on, or it's just going to get hidden and you'll never know that that's a pocket. So that's why we do that whole thing with the little hole punch there. We do, a lot of people will take a hole punch like this. If you can fit it in there, it's, you know, do it before you fold everything together. But most of the time I can just fit this in here. And I'm going to do one rather big because I want to be able to see that. So that if I stuff something in there, it doesn't get totally lost. Okay, now if you stuff something in there, I don't know, I have this like frog in my throat. If you stuff something in there that's like completely off, let's go this way. And then I would need to cut it about right there. You see how I'm not precise at all. It doesn't matter to me. If I stuff something in there that's really bold and different, then that's going to catch your eye. You're going to see that and say, oh, what's that? And pull it out. Now, I don't have to decorate it right now. I don't have to do that now. I can just stuff it in there. Okay, I'm trying, we started with wanting to find a place for these quotes that came with. I have this one here that came off of the kit's tag. And see how her stuff is so busy? It's so pretty, but it's wicked busy. Wicked, that's a Boston term, if ever I heard one. Yes, I did grow up in Boston. I haven't lived there in a long time, but every once in a while, a little Boston comes out. So this is her kit. This is her kit. I love it. It's pretty. Clearly, I bought it off of her Etsy store. But do you see, here's one of those, she calls them a paper bag. It's really hard to see where it ends and the background paper begins. But then again, if she had just done it on white paper, this would just all be wasted. She does it on a decorative type of paper so that then you can use this as well. But it's kind of, this one it's not so hard to see because that's all blue. But when the paper bag matches the background, it is really hard to see. See, that one's really hard to see. And this one's full of tags. Let's cut these out because we probably can use these in here. Darling, you hold the beauty of life in your hands. How pretty. How pretty, darling. Darling, you hold it. All right, this one, see, again, it almost looks like she created a flap for this, but I don't think so. I think it's just on top of another piece of pretty paper. Now, it's interesting. I love this cutter. This is my newest cutter, and it has, this is going to be so hard for you to see on that, so I'm going to turn this around. And I don't even know if you're going to be able to see this, but it does have, let me get a pointer. I feel like I'm in teacher mode. This little wire right here. Oh, you can hear it. Hold on. It's like I'm playing banjo. I hope I don't damage it. It's really hard to see, but there's a wire that goes the length of, and it's where the blade cuts. So I can be really precise with this because I can line up the line. What I'm looking at is that wire, and I line up that wire right on the line where I want to cut, and it gives me really precise cuts. So this is what I'm saying. So this is the excess that would normally be white and just get thrown out, but because she put it on decorative paper, I could use it for something else at some point. All right, it's really hard to see the lines, though I do find it difficult. As much as I like the kit. Oh, look what I did down here. Naughty. Nuke 'em. You missed a spot. We don't stress about stuff like that. No, we do not. We just keep going. And we're going to have fun with it, right, Piglet? We're just going to not... Oh, I think, did I cut the end off? I don't even know. I don't even know because I'm telling you, it's really hard to see the ends. We're going to cut these tags out. And then I'll have them off to the side here. And I can use them how I wish. That one's really pretty. Break binding. Hi, Peg. How are ya? Moose Peg. I can't think of the word, girls, for the life of me. That's a real Monday morning for you. Sorry, Silk. It's not sorry, Silk, but it's something like that. Tell it where it needs to go. Yes, Nancy, you tell it. Girls, tell it. Don't let that talk you out of the goodness and the fun that you're having with your creative time. Just don't let it happen. Just don't. Just say no. The negative thoughts, they're not welcome here. Beauty and grace and relaxation and joy from doing something creative, that's what's welcome here. And you will mess up. I mess up all the time. But the more that you can try to, change your mind, your perspective on how you approach it, the easier it will be for you to enjoy it. It's just like anything else in life, I used to tell my sister, I hate cooking. I hate cooking. I hate dinner time. I don't look forward to it. It's become a thing for me. And I just thought to myself, Grace, just stop it. My family, I'm Italian, half Italian. My family, everything that I ever did was surrounded by food and good food. I'm talking like the Mediterranean artichokes and eggplants and tomatoes and just all the good stuff. My family, I live in North Dakota now, not in Boston. So I can't get the same foods. I can't get the same breads. Can't get the same fruits and vegetables. I can't find an eggplant here in North Dakota. I can't find one. We do not sell fresh artichokes at the grocery store. They just don't exist. So I can't get the same foods. And my family, from the influence of my husband, who's total Midwesterner and doesn't have any Italian background, he just is not a foodie. Like, they want to eat brats with a handful of potato chips. That's it. And it has stripped the joy out of food for me. And my sister and I were talking about that. And she said, I don't think you hate cooking. I think you hate cooking for your family. And I do. It's because they don't want to eat anything fun. They're so boring with the way they eat. I'm sorry, honey, if you're listening. I'm sorry to my children, but it's just the way it is. So I've grown to really disdain dinner time. And it's not dinner time's fault. It's not food's fault. Food is glorious and it's meant to be enjoyed. It sustains our bodies, but it's also meant to be tasty and delicious. And we're supposed to have that enjoyment from it. It's what God intends. But with my family, I grew to hate it because my family they are not adventurous at all with food. So I thought, okay, I don't want to cover up that bird. I don't want to cover up that bird at all. Where's that little... See, it's just adding busyness on top of busyness. So I don't think I'll do that. Ain't I good? So anyway, I have started to change my mind about that in a way. Oh, this is a pocket here, girls. I did one of those little things to show me. Oh, it's not a pocket. It could have been a pocket, but I decided to make it a page instead. Instead of gluing this closed and make that a pocket, I just opened it up and made it a page and did some tuck spots on it. Anyway, what was I saying about food? So it's about changing my mind about food and deciding, no, I'm not gonna blame food. It's not about blame. It's about finding the joy. So I'm not going to choose to focus on the negativity. I'm going to try to find joy in creating again. So did I sew this together or did it just get glued down? I have started baking fresh bread, which my family absolutely loves. So I make fresh Italian bread. Yeah, it just got glued down, a little sticky right there, which my family loves. And I enjoy every minute of making the bread. And there are some baked goods that my family, healthy, because we have to focus on being healthy. Some baked goods like protein peanut butter bars, oat and peanut butter bars that my son loves that I make. Takes just a few minutes, but it brings joy back to the kitchen for me. Now, see, this is not beautiful. It doesn't matter to me. The idea is just to put something in there so that we see that it's a tuck spot. Now, we could take something beautiful and stick it in there. But my goal is more about showcasing the pocket. Eventually, something more will be created there, but let's stick that in there. This one's rather busy, and I'm trying to decide. I really love it. I put a piece of washi tape here to hinge these two pages together. I don't necessarily think I want to cover any of this, and I don't know how the page will end up getting used. This right here, I could see leaving this really pretty, beautiful, and maybe putting some light gesso over this and then writing over it, journaling over that. So I'm just going to leave this page. Just going to leave it. Now here, I already added a vellum pocket right here. and stuffed that house image in there. This I like. I like it. This, I like the solid. I'd like to have a combination. I don't like to open and just see all this busyness. So I like to have something more plain, not necessarily just plain white paper, but more plain so that you have a place to glue down a photo or a ticket or an image or to write, things like that. So maybe here with the sweet girls here, darling, you hold the beauty of life in your hands. Maybe we'll put this here. And I'm going to clip it. I'm not going to attach it permanently. We're going to clip it on. Anyway, I'm sharing the food story just because I think it's relative to our finding joy in our creative time. It's similar. And for me, it's similar. Don't let anything, including like that little devil in your head, the negativity in your head, convince you otherwise. If you're enjoying it, enjoy it. And don't let anything take away from that for you. That's my encouragement for you today. Nancy or Piglet says, thank you so much. I catch myself comparing what I'm doing to what I see from the others. That Piglet, that is a really observant thing to say. I'm going to read a couple more comments here, and then I want to say something to you about that. You have your own style that will come from adventures in crafting. We are surrounded by talent. Nancy, that's a good point. We learn from them and find what we like. You got this, and just have fun with it. Nancy, it's such good advice. Such good advice. Andrea, this is from, the kit is from Amity Bloom. So write that down and look up her, you can look up her store. Amity Bloom. She has a lot of really lovely kits. Okay. You live in the South Shore? 47 Island? Is it Island? 47 Leland. I grew up in Chelsea. I have family in Malden, Melrose, Lawrence, Gloucester, Westfield. I have family. I'm from a really big Irish Italian family, one of 13 kids. So they're all over the place in Boston. Okay, so what Piglet said, oh no, excuse me. Yes, finding myself comparing what I'm doing to what I see in others' work. That is one of the big challenges, I think, for us as creatives is, okay, we have probably too much. I would love to see what you think of that statement. I think we probably have too much creativity online to follow. Okay, hear me out. Because this is for me. This is my personal perspective, and I wonder if you ever feel this way. Okay. We like creative things. We're creative people. Not everybody is. I live with 3 engineers. My 2 sons are going to school. One of them is a freshman, sophomore in college now, engineering student. My other son, my senior, who I just told you just went to prom, he is going to go follow in his brother's footsteps, same school, same major, mechanical and aerospace engineering. They have math science brains. I don't know. They obviously didn't take after their mom. In that way, my husband has a construction engineering or construction, what was his degree is in construction management, something like that. Very engineering brain, right? They love math. They love formulas. They love figuring stuff like that out. I don't do math. I eyeball everything. So I have a more creative brain. Anyway, I think so as a creative, I'm not surrounded by a lot of creativity or beauty. My family, they would decorate the house with guns and knives if I let them. They are manly men who like engineering. I'm not that way. I need to be surrounded by beauty. I love to listen to classical music. I love to listen almost to every genre, honestly. The only genre I really don't enjoy is that heavy metal. I can't get into it. But beautiful music, I sometimes ask the little device in the corner, Alexa. I sometimes ask her to play like relaxation station, spa music, like just soft melodies, pretty, especially if I need to calm myself. But I love so many types of music. I like to surround myself with beautiful art. my family isn't into this stuff. It just doesn't feed them the way it feeds me. So as a creative, we tend to want to see that beauty. I do anyway. I tend to want to see that beauty. I got to get a ribbon. So I'm going to go over here for a minute. I tend to want to surround myself with beauty. So when I'm perusing, which all of us do with our phones or tablets, when we're just sitting, even watching TV, my family is really bad at this, and I'm trying to break free from this, but we tend to, I'm looking for a little, oh, this, I use this to tie this so it wouldn't bust open, but I do like it for this page. So I'm going to cut a piece of this off. That's how I work. I do tend to, like, when I'm perusing things, the topics, I would love to know when you peruse anything. I don't know if it's Instagram that you go on, TikTok. I don't use TikTok at all. I don't really use Instagram, although I have it. I don't really use it. This is too short though. I want it to work. Anyway, I peruse pretty things. I like to look at gardening and beautiful foods and music, and I like to look at people creating artwork, all kinds of artwork. And when you fill yourself up with that much, it is really easy then to say, oh my gosh, what that artist did was so beautiful. And then you think later, oh, I'm going to get a little creative time in my art space, my creative space, my craft table. And then you feel like, this isn't nearly as good as what inspired me to come to this table. I do that to myself all the time. So that's weird with just one, and I may just leave it. Now, it's not going to stay on its own. This is like a silky, shiny, slippery fabric. So I'm going to put a little glue dot down here because I do want that there. It's different. It's not what you would expect, which I like. So I'm going to just put a tiny bit of glue there. I just got to find which glue to use. I'm trying to use this up because I bought it and I'm going to use it, girls. So I'm just going to put a dot of glue in the knot. Oh, and it came undone. That's the way you roll, huh? That's the way you're going to play this game? It came undone. I don't feel like my fingers are really good at doing fine motor skills. So sorry about this. You're just going to have to bear witness to this torturous process. Anyway, I think we can, especially when we see something beautiful that inspires us to go to our space. I do it to myself all the time with art journaling. I love to watch other people art journal. And I love to see what they come up with. And then I'm like, oh, I want to make that. I want to make a bird that pretty, or I want to make something that pretty. Okay. Well, then I tend to not be original. If I just go and repeat what somebody else did, then it's not truly original. Okay. So it's inspired by somebody else. If I ever use somebody else's art or somebody else's work, like that's not from Amity Bloom, but that's Amity Bloom's, I will always share, like, this is from Amity Bloom. This is from this artist. I saw something that this person did and it inspired me to come up with this. I think it's really important to share that information because to give them credit and to honor them for what they did that inspired you. But then I feel like, why can't I just come up with something original? I think that's the challenge of watching so many other creatives online. Because then when you're not giving yourself time at your table without that stuff in your brain. Now, so there's two things here. If you are new at this, you're brand new at it, then you need to watch to learn, right? You need to watch to get ideas. Like, how can I fill that page? How do I connect these pages? How do I actually construct the book? You are full of light and love. What a nice positive comment. So you do need to watch some, but perhaps we need to be limiting ourselves. Do you think that? I wonder, do you think it would help to say, okay, I'm going to watch 3 videos a day? I don't know how you limit yourself. I don't know if it's, I'm going to watch 1 hour a day. I'm only going to watch in the morning while I'm drinking my coffee. I don't know what the limit is. I don't know. I'm not suggesting I have an answer. I'm just wondering, as a point of topic, maybe we need to limit ourselves with how much we're consuming and put more time into doing at our tables. And I know it will not be perfect. If you're looking at somebody else's art and saying, my gosh, that's just perfectly beautiful, I love it, and then you go to your table and you try to emulate that, you're going to be more limited in letting your own creativity come out. So I'm just suggesting that maybe we should be limiting, do a little bit of watching and following and learning from others, but then give yourself a certain amount of time at your table. If you can afford 15 minutes, then it's 15 minutes at your table, just creating in an art journal. That's why I love art journaling so much, because you can just put stuff down and it doesn't have to have any rules. You don't have to worry about it. You're just letting your own personality come out on paper. What do you think about that? I'm going to come to the comments and see what you guys are saying about that suggestion. I love this Whatnot community, Piglet says. Everyone has been so helpful and positive. Thank you all so much. Isn't it the best? I really do like it too. Thank you for saying that, Piglet. Cooking for me is relaxing, Nancy says, even if it's baked beans and hot dogs. Oh, good for you, Nancy. I love that you love it so much. We're doing crafting and chatting. This is Jackie. Jackie's asking, is this a tutorial? I'm working on a book. You guys are welcome to join me while I do it. And we're chatting. We're talking creativity and inspiration. And this topic is about, should we be limiting ourselves with how much we're consuming from other creators? Some nice music, a cup of tea, and to create experimenting. Nancy, exactly. And maybe maybe it's not a cup of tea. Maybe for you, it's a big Diet Coke full of ice. Like I have a girlfriend who every day she wants one big Diet Coke or iced tea, and it's her like little luxury that she treats herself. To me, it's coffee or tea. She loves her Diet Coke, whatever it is. Just sit and enjoy and create. To give yourself blank time with your favorite music, maybe. Music stimulates my brain. So even in high school, I listened to classical music when I was doing my homework because it stimulates my brain. And it's enjoyable, it's beautiful. It stimulates my brain without making me think, because there's no lyrics to classic. If you just put on classical music, there's no lyrics. I don't have to think about the lyrics or singing them, or it doesn't take me away to a different thought. It just allows me to sit in my own thought and in my own desires for what I'm doing, whether it was studying at the time, writing papers at the time, or now creating. I listen to classical music if I just need to chill out and think, even if it's doing book work for my business or praying. Sometimes it's for prayer time. So anything that's not, there's no words to it, works for me. Piglet says, I would agree with you in this for sure, and not watch while trying to craft. Exactly. Unless you're trying to exactly learn what the person is doing, like how to construct a book, right? This book was constructed a month or two ago. And most of the time on public pages, I show bits and pieces of putting the books together. If you want full start to finish, I have a workshop called Make a Journal Start to Finish. And it's a series of videos. You get a supply list. I talk to you about the supplies, and we make the book from a cereal box. That is a tutorial. So you would sit with the video and follow along with the tutorial. But that's not what a lot of what you're seeing on social media. Social media, you're getting its and bits of someone's creativity, but not the whole darn process. So that's why it really does help to belong to a membership. Like in my membership, I teach workshops start to finish. And you can either create alongside me, or you can do it on your own time by doing the replay and watching the video and stopping it and pausing it and rewinding it, fast forwarding it through things that you don't need to see. But that's not, I'm talking about more just watching somebody else create and then trying to go to your table and do it yourself. It can be so challenging. And that's where the negative thoughts can come just seeping in and rob the joy from you, steal the joy. Nancy says, on Spotify, I put indie instrumental and it's just the right beat. Oh, good, Nancy. Thanks for that suggestion. A glass of wine. Exactly, Nancy. Exactly. Whatever it is that you enjoy. Anne says, I only watch bits and pieces of a video, or only to listen and sneak peek so I can figure out how to do something. So you're looking more for tutorials rather than inspiration. And there's no right or wrong way to consume. I'm just suggesting if you have this itch to create, to build the confidence to keep creating in a way that's enjoyable to you, you may need to shut off the watching and just sit and do, even if it's imperfect, especially if it's imperfect, because imperfect means you're learning, and imperfect means as it's imperfect. Like I didn't know exactly how Amity Bloom built her books. I've never taken one of her workshops. I've considered it, but I didn't know. And I thought, well, instead of signing up for a workshop right away, I bought her kit and I thought, I'm just going to try to figure it out. I'm going to put it together on my own and see, how did she do this? So I sewed some, I glued some. I sometimes say, I Frankensteined it into my own thing. Like I made it into my own thing. And I think that's what we need to do more of, to give ourselves the confidence and the enjoyment of creating fully from our own brains, from what we come up on our own. I just think it's so good for us to do that when you're a creative person. Now, my kids and my husband, they get their creativity. They are creative in a way, but with different things than I am. This would be perfect for one of these wide ones. And I do like the mint green. There's a lot of mint green in this book. Where are they? Where did I put them? My husband and my kids, they'll be creative when they can't. So this is how their creative itch comes out. They don't want to do flowery, artsy things like I do. They don't want to listen to beautiful music. They want to get into the garage and pull apart something that's mechanical and figure out how to put it back together. That to them is their creative time. It's just different because they're different people than I am. There's nothing wrong with it. But I do see that as their creative time. That's how they do creative time. I'm not storing my little doodad in this container, which is for it. So I should just throw my excess things in there. That would make sense, yes? Anyway. So right now I'm just trying to fill pockets and use up some of the stuff that I have off to the side that are left over. And I really started by saying I wanted to find a place for these phrases that she included with the kit, because they're really pretty. She has them kind of built in on her tags, and this is the stuff that you cut away. I cut the paper bags from, and it was just off to the side. Think of all the beauty still left around you. So I was thinking it would just be so nice to embed these throughout the book. So I'm trying to find places for these phrases, like here. Oh, I could put one right here. That would make perfect sense. Oops, knocked over my glue. I knocked it over, so I'm going to cut this down. I love chatting with you about this, though, because it's interesting to see how other people, what your perspective is on it. Nancy says, if I can suggest Spotify. I love watching you create, Vicky says. Hi, Vicky Dooley. My problem is finding the time to actually create, but I'm working on spending more time doing it. So, Vicky, if I could suggest what you might do is to create a schedule for it. If you're having, and I do the same thing, and it was, for me, it was my health and like getting on the treadmill to walk. I'm recovering from surgery this past summer, and I need to find time for the physical therapy exercises that the physical therapist gave me, and for my walking, just to get back into my physicality. I used to be a runner. I used to run long distance. I can't even walk. I couldn't even walk after surgery a quarter mile. I was telling my friend yesterday, I started out, I couldn't even walk a quarter mile without major pain. Now I'm up to 1.25 miles, but I only got there because I have scheduled it. I've said to myself, I have got to get a half hour in on the treadmill. Okay, Grace, look at your day. When can that happen? Okay, it has to happen before my people come home, my husband and kids, child now, because I'm down to one at home, or it has to happen after I feed them, because I'm the one, my husband and I prepare dinner. We eat dinner together as a family every single night. That is a non-negotiable for our family. After that, after we've settled in, my husband usually sits down to watch some podcasts or some TV, or that's usually what he does. He's a diabetic, and he usually does that after dinner to process let his body process the food. My son goes down to do homework or to play video games with his friends down to his room. So then I have this downtime where I'm not interested in the stuff my husband wants to watch. So that's when I get on the treadmill for a half hour, and it works really well for us. Then my husband gets on the treadmill about 9:00 at night, because he likes to do it before bed. It's with his blood sugar levels and having eaten dinner. Think of all the beauty. I'm going to cut this right here. I had to think about where did I want the break. I think this is going to go right here, and I think I will darken it up a little bit. So anyway, that I had Vicky, I had to like look at my day, look at my schedule, look at my day and decide. I just have this random piece of cardboard sitting here I'm going to use to darken these up a little. I can't even pick them up. I had to decide what time of day am I going to dedicate. I had to think about it because otherwise, sorry for the bad language, but otherwise, after dinner, after I'm done doing the dishes and all that stuff, I can literally piss away an hour and a half on my phone scrolling and catching up with everything that's gone on during the day. And then I feel regret. Because I'm like, Grace, I could have done that and that's what I do. I could have done that while I was walking on the treadmill. I could have caught up with all the comments on my Facebook page, my YouTube channel. I could respond to people's emails. But instead, I pissed it away at the kitchen counter, just literally standing there and doing that. But that is something I could easily do on the treadmill. So that's what I've consciously decided, Vicky, that this is, instead of just standing here in the kitchen wasting away, and an hour and a half can go by and I don't even know it. It's like, wow, I just spent an hour and a half with my face in my phone responding to people and sharing people links. They ask like, oh, where can I find your intro class for junk journaling, start your junk journaling start to finish class? Okay, let me go get that link for you, share it with you, give you all the information you need. It goes by so fast. Catching up with my family online, because my family's all still out in the East Coast. Well, not all of them. I have a sister who lives in Florida, and I have 2 brothers who live in North Carolina now. Oh, I like that so much better with a little bit of that on there. So anyway, I could easily waste all of that time that I could be on the treadmill. So I try not to do that anymore. But I had to make a conscious decision, Vicky, to say after dinner is a great time. If I can't get it done right away in the morning, like this morning, I'm with you guys. So I'm not on the treadmill. I'm with you guys. So right away in the morning today isn't going to work. So I likely after dinner tonight will be when I'm able to get on the treadmill and get my little bit of time in. And I have to do it or I'm never going to heal. I'm never going to get stronger. It's the same thing with your creative time. If you long to be more creative and you long to spend more time listening to music and for relaxation and creating, then you need to say, when am I going to fit this in my day? Just like everything else. When am I going to walk the dog? When am I going to feed the dog? When am I going to feed my family? When am I going to do the grocery shopping? If it's important to you, I suggest you try to find a scheduled time for it. And I mean not watching somebody else. I'm talking about just doing your own original creativity and I suggest in a book, an art journal is a perfect way to do it because you can explore color combinations. Maybe that's your only focus. Man, I saw somebody use purple and yellow together today and I would never think of that and I really liked it. Maybe that's the exploration. It's just purple and yellow. That can be it. It doesn't have to be anything grand and crazy. It can just be, wow, I saw somebody put a book together today and I want to try it. Get some scrap papers out and give it a whirl. And don't put any more pressure on yourself to finish the book. Just explore how to put the book together. Even if you only have 15 minutes, it's 15 minutes of something that's going to feed you in a way that's so positive and it's so good for you. It kind of like refills your cup, as they say. Oh no, Vicky says my husband's car is being towed. Yuckaroos. Nancy says when I first started scrapbooking, they're really worth videos of things that you bought, the books you had to use your head. Oh, there really weren't any. Yeah, no videos, no platforms. Right. And now there's so much, Nancy. Do you see my point? There's so much to consume. I literally can spend hours a day watching other people create. But then what it does, unfortunately, is it leaves no time for me to sit and create on my own. And that could be happening to you too. So if you find yourself frustrated by that or feeling very empty, you watch a bunch of videos, you get really excited about what you see, and then, oh my gosh, there's no more time. I got to get the kids to bed. I got to get myself to bed. I got to walk the dog. I have no time now to sit at my table and create and do what I just saw. The thing that got me so excited. And that can be such a letdown. It can be such a like I didn't get to do it. And then you start to beat yourself up about it. It leads to more, I think it can lead to a lot of negativity. So I would suggest, ladies, I would encourage you to try to find 15 minutes a day. Maybe that 15 minutes is when you're having your first cup of coffee. I'm a really slow person. Like in the morning, I need a little time to rev up and I don't want to talk to anybody. I just want to drink my coffee, and sketching would be a really good thing for me to do at that time because it would slowly wake my brain up and wake my body up without having to converse with anybody. So if there's a certain time of day that you think you could fit that in, that would be very soothing to you. Maybe it's at the very end of the day as a way to downshift from being really busy, coming home from work, feeding the family, getting the dishes, the mail, paying the couple of bills you have to pay. And then you're like, you need something to just let go. Instead of just watching people create, get a book out and play with your crayons. Play with, your watercolor paints that you bought that you haven't had a chance to use. Aloha Grattan, she says, oh my gosh, that is what I'm doing right now in my pajamas. I hope you're creating. I hope that's what you mean. Is the book itself made from the kit, or are you just adding pieces of the kit to the journal? No, the book itself is the kit. I made all of these pages. She calls them paper bags. If you were here, were you here earlier? Did you see me show? Like, here's one of the paper bags. This was on an 8.5 by 11 printer paper printable kit that she sells. Let me see if I have a full page again. Yeah, right here. Here's one. This is part of the kit. So what she does is she calls them paper bags, but do you see this shape it makes? Paper bags just doesn't seem the right word to me. Did I just have one? I did. Hold on. These are the paper bags, she calls them, that I made that I didn't use to make the book. But here's one. Here's a big one. Here's a little one. This is this size paper bag, as she calls it. And you cut it out. You fold it. To me, that's an envelope, because you would glue these two edges. But in some cases, I didn't glue them. Like, this is a case where I didn't glue the paper bag. I left it open. And I used it to make this. I used the folds to make this little tuck spot here, and just used it as pages of the book. Okay, so this one is folded. And this one, I used the entire paper bag and I glued it together to make this little pocket. And then I sewed another one right here. Okay, so I used them in very clever ways to make the whole book. This whole book is made out of these. And now that the book has been created with a cover and all, I'm going through and I have all these leftovers, and I'm trying to find a way, especially these quotes, to include these little leftovers in this paper bag journal from Amity Bloom. And while I'm doing that, we're chatting about creating and creativity, and how can you find the time to fill your creative desires, like that need that you have inside you to create. I'm suggesting that you make the time. You schedule it as part of your day. See, here's one that I made. I haven't used it yet. I cut it out, I folded it all, and I didn't use it anywhere in the book. So maybe these little ones from her kit. These are both from her kit. You see, they're all the same shape. She has different size ones, small ones and big ones. All of the pages in this book are made from these paper bags of Amity Blooms, but now I'm trying to find, actually, let's do it this way. I'm trying to find a way to use all my leftovers. Now, that's not from the kit. That's just a little fairy from a book that I had, and I photocopied it. That's not from a kit. That's from another artist on Etsy, and I love her work, so I have her printables here to put in my books. This is from the kit, Beauty is a Light in the Heart. That was from the kit, and I included that there. So that, to answer your question, that's what I'm doing. I'm taking her kit stuff and trying to find places for it. I like this color because it feeds off the burlap. So let's put this one here. Anyway, that's kind of what I'm thinking, girls. I would encourage you highly this week, maybe the encouragement this week, the challenge for you is to find the time to create. Simply give yourself permission to schedule in You have to find the time. You have to schedule it, ladies. I mean, that is my whole point of what I'm saying is don't, what's the word I'm looking for? Don't deny yourself. Don't deny yourself the joy of it by just simply watching other people. That's not, if you're leaving watching other people and you're feeling empty, or you're feeling like you missed out, or you're feeling like, man, I would love to do that, I just don't have the time. Well, stop saying that to ourselves. And let's, instead of opening our phone and watching Instagram videos of people painting, take out a book and paint for 15 minutes. Because like I said, we can, I'll say it again because this is the Boston girl coming out in me. We can piss away a lot of time watching other people create, but it doesn't fulfill what we're looking for. It doesn't fill a need. And that's so sad. It's so sad. We should be feeding our desire for creativity can come from ourselves. There's nothing wrong with watching other people to be pumped up and excited and inspired, but then please give yourself some time to create. I have my club, the Craft Therapy Club. I get together with them live about 12 times a month on average. So live 3 times a week, all different kinds of projects, art journaling, mixed media, junk journaling, making books, like we do ATC cards. We do some, just all kinds of stuff in there. And it's meant to inspire and teach. I teach techniques start to finish, so you know exactly what products I used and what you could use in place. We talk a lot about in that group using what you have on hand instead of buying new. So if I'm using a product that you might not have, I say, okay, if you don't have this, these are the glues that are like this that you could use in place of it in your project. And you probably don't even need to use a fabric glue. If that's the case, I will tell you that. So we talk a lot about all those things, but it gives you a place for fellowship, creativity with other creatives who are going to encourage you, and we set time aside to sit and create together. There's a lot of beauty to that. So it doesn't have to be my club, but if you can find a club or a membership group that you can join that gives you a schedule, like we have a monthly schedule that I produce, and they know exactly, here, I'm going to show you. I have it up, I think, on my clipboard right here. My club is really, really organized. This is our schedule for March. So this is the month we're just finishing. All of these are PM, so those are evening, and all the other ones are during the day. So I try to do both day and evening. Every Sunday I'm live doing gratitude journaling. Every Tuesday I'm live doing different things. An exploding junk journal page, crafting and chatting. This is art journaling, painted pages with napkins. Another art journaling. They asked for more art journaling, so I'm trying to do art journaling twice a month on Tuesdays. We do creative bingo. We do just regular bingo for prizes. Open crafting with the door prize. This month we made handmade papers from wax paper. Oh, so this is what they look like. I'm just showing you the kinds of things that you can get from a club. So this is handmade mulberry paper that we made. I showed them how to do it from wax paper, tissue paper, and things that you have on hand at home. A club can be a really good way to schedule. You don't have to worry about it. I already scheduled it. All you have to do is show up. And then we're going to create and learn and do together. And that can be a really great way to meet other people who are trying to learn along with you and just enjoy your creative time. You don't have to be in a club, but if I'm suggesting that if you are struggling to have the discipline to set that time aside for yourself, maybe having a schedule within a membership would be helpful to you. Maybe that's what you need to just get you going, right? That could be really fun and interesting. Where do you find the club? If you go to my website, thecomfynestwithgrace.com, and go to the membership tab, or you can go to, the name of the club is the Craft Therapy Club. So you could go to crafttherapyclub.com. If you have any trouble, just message me, Crazy Creations. We welcome new people to join. We'd love to have you join us. It's $15 a month. There are lots of opportunities to win prizes. So it's it's at least 12 live activities together a month. And they're not all, like, we do bingo. It's like literally regular bingo for craft prizes. We do that every month just because I did it a couple of times. The girls loved it, so I kept it. We do open crafting sessions in Facebook Messenger where we just get together online, and we're all creating. I'm not teaching anything. I'm working on something. Everybody else is working on something different, and we just get to know each other if that interests you. There's all kinds of ways to express yourself within that group. Crazy Creation says, I think I'm doing an ephemera sale with bundles, but man, I see so many people doing the same thing. I know it's hard, isn't it? It's hard to try to stand out. Oh, Funky Dunk Inspiration. There's Christy. Christy is one of our, like, she's been with the Craft Therapy Club for, we were talking about it the other day, probably around 3-4 years you've been in the Craft Therapy Club, but she now has her own business page, Funky Junk Inspiration. You'll find her everywhere you find me. YouTube. You'll find her on Instagram. You'll find her, I think, on Pinterest, but on Facebook. You can find her going live and sharing her creative joy with everybody. So please follow my friend, Christy. And she is saying, the Craft Therapy Club is the best. Thank you, friend. I love having you in there. You're such a valued member. When I show my binding, Deborah, here you go. So there's two bindings here, really. This is covered, so it's hard to see because I've decorated over it, but I used fabric tabs to hold together the two covers. And then I glued, these were all, it's really hard to see here. These were all separately, all of these, it's hard to explain. All of these paper bags, she calls them, were glued and sewn together. And then separately, I used these tabs to hold the book covers together. And then I attached the insert, the signature, to the book cover. So there's almost two different kinds of bindings here to create that. Yeah. Yep. So there you go. A little bit closer. Spoke exactly about what I do. Watch videos, and I wish I could do the same. Carol, that's why being in the club is so good, because if you set the time aside, and on the first of the month, every month I give them that schedule for the month so that you guys can go in and you can just schedule the time for the things that you most want to do, the things that you most want to enjoy, whether it be the art journaling, the making the books, if it's maybe we do a mixed media project and you're really interested in like how to make handmade paper. Maybe that's what you want to do the most. And if you're limited, I tell them all the time, there's probably way more in the group than they can do every month, because you guys are busy and you're raising families and taking care of parents and pets and all the things. So pick out the things that you most enjoy, just like Netflix. I'm never going to watch everything on Netflix, but I still have my membership and I enjoy the things I can enjoy and let go of the rest. Everything in the group, it sits in the group so that you can grab it anytime, watch the replays. So the things that are most important to you, the things that get you most excited, those are the things you should go back to and try on your own. And then give yourself some time without a video to just create on a concept, whether it be an art journal page or sketching something out or painting it. Yes. Let's see. I want to make sure I answered everybody's questions. Thanks. Funky Junk Inspiration. Thank you for doing that. I appreciate you. Crazy Creations. I feel like it's been so long since I've caught one of your shows. I'm so glad I found you this morning. Oh, Crazy Creations. Thanks for saying that. And I'm glad you're here today too. You must have just needed the message. That was a God wink right there. Deborah says, thanks, Grace. I thought the tabs, but I knew it had to be more. I didn't actually, Deborah, I didn't do this one. I created this one on my own time. As a creative business owner, it is really challenging when you're creating content for other people and creating workshops for other people. It is actually very challenging to find time to do your own thing off on the side that you're not sharing with others. I have not shared this, how I created this yet. So Deborah, you're not going to find it. I did it on my own first because I wanted to master it before I taught it. And this will likely be in the Craft Therapy Club. I'll teach you guys, if you're really interested, I'll teach you how to construct this so that you know how to make this book this way. Because there's all different ways to connect pages. There are lots of different ways. And I find this one very relaxing. And it can be a no-sew where you don't have to have a sewing machine or hand stitch anything. I know a lot of people, when you think binding things together, we think of sewing, and that doesn't have to be the case. If you enjoy it, I say go for it, but it doesn't, if you don't have a sewing machine, it may not be an option. You can still make books without a sewing machine or without sewing at all if you don't want to sew. Deborah says, yes, please. So I'll make a note to myself to maybe do that in the group with you guys. All right, girls, I do have things to do besides playtime. This was really good. I still have so much of her kit's stuff sitting here that I want to find. Here's another one of the paper bags. It's just so pretty, isn't it? In the blue. It's crooked though. I do see that it's rather crooked. Anyway, it's just so pretty in the blue. So I'm going to keep trying to find places for these things in here. And as I'm building, like these, we made these in the Craft Therapy Club. These are like little corner, they're like little snippet corners, and we made them. And I just have them in a folder behind me when I want to decorate pages. And just put something on the corner. I just glue those down, but they were made before, and then I just have them handy so that when I need little corner, like little decorative things to put on corners, I can do that. But I'm going to keep working on this book. This is relaxing to me and so joyful, right? To just I kind of call it putzing. Look at how well that matches. That was not intentional. So I think you belong in here. I will find one way or another to use you, but I'm going to just put you in there for now. Find so much joy in this whole process, and I do really love sharing it with you guys. So thank you for being here this morning with me. See, I can use that little fold to make that a little pocket or a tuck for things. And I have one here and one here. So instead of gluing it all together and make it an envelope or a paper bag, as she calls it, I left it open so that I can use that as the base for the page. I could flip through this. I mean, I could spend hours and hours just playing and doing this, but I don't literally have the luxury to spend hours and hours because I got things to do, kids. I got to pay my bills today. I got to get my weekly email out to everybody on my email list. I'm sending it out this morning. I have several things that I need to do, and I've got to finalize. I've got the club membership schedule for next month done. I just got to finalize it so I can print it tomorrow and be ready to share that with you guys tomorrow. Those of you who are club members, thank you. And I got to do that today. So, girls, I got to get moving and get working on some other stuff. But thank you for hanging out with me today. Thanks for being here. Please bookmark my next show. A couple of things. I have to go. That's one of the things I need to do today. I need to get into Whatnot and schedule. I'm trying to do crafting and chatting every single Monday morning. Monday or Tuesday. I'm aiming for Monday mornings. Early like this. So I've got to get in there today and schedule out some more of those. But I do have an actual auction coming up in about a week and a half, and that is in my show listing. If you could go and bookmark that, I would appreciate it if you would show up and support me financially that way. We do need to pay our own bills as creatives who are sharing with you in public. We do need to pay our own bills, and the way we do that is by people who are members of the club. That gives me some income every month. The bulk of my income comes from the membership, but also from the auctions here on Whatnot Now. So please, I would love the support. I would appreciate it so much. Oh, J-Will, Janice is here. J-Will Creations, yet another club member who has her own business page now over on Facebook and YouTube. J-Will Creations, that's Janice. She's fabulous. She is, you guys, just please, it's just so good to support each other. Even if you go over and just hit the subscribe tab as a way of support, you will find that these ladies are just beautiful people. They're just beautiful and kind and nice, and you'll really love hanging out with them. Thanks for being here, Janice. I appreciate you, girl. All right, girls. You guys, I am live with Janice on Friday. By the way, she's my guest. Last week, Christy was my guest on my Facebook page. This week, it's Janice on Friday. If you want to get to know her a little bit, join us on Friday night over on Facebook and YouTube. We'll be live for what I call Guest in the Nest, and she'll be my guest, and I'll be interviewing her about how she got where she is with her creative life. It's a really good way to learn about some of the community that we have here at the Comfy Nest with Grace. And thanks for being part of that, you guys. I'll see you next time. I gotta go. I gotta get some things done. Let's oh my gosh, there are 20 of you here. Let's raid somebody. Do you mind? I will probably, what I usually do at the end of one of these craft and chats is raid. So we're going to create a raid. We're going to go visit somebody who's live and doing an auction. Probably, maybe they're doing some creating. We'll see. And I usually stay at least for 15 minutes to 20 minutes, say hello in the comments, and then just let them know that we're coming to support them. And when we do that, we do a row of chicks in the comments like that so that they know we're all from the same raid over here at the Comfy Nest with Grace. So please, if you don't mind, let's go support another whatnot person. Postmodern Cat, I don't know what she's up to, but she is a creative. Looking Glass Lane is doing vintage decor. A couple of friends, the Plum Thumb and Gypsy Kim are on there. Stitch Rainbow is doing other craft supplies. Let's go say Stitch Rainbow maybe. Ooh, arts and prints. We got all kinds of stuff going on this morning. Let's go see Stitch Rainbow. Please give her a Crafty Chicks hello in the comments when we get there.